everyone, and welcome back to Chill English Channel. I'm Sophia, and I'm very happy that you are spending some time with us today.
And I'm Jake. Wherever you are listening, from your home, your car, a quiet cafe, or a busy train, we hope you can relax and enjoy this conversation.
Today, we are talking about something that everyone experiences at different moments in life, making difficult decisions.
Yes, those moments when you have two or more choices, but you're not sure which one is right for you.
You might need to decide whether to accept a new job, move to another city, end a relationship, start studying again, or spend money on something important.
Some decisions are small, like choosing what to eat for dinner. Others can change the direction of your life.
And when a decision feels important, it can be difficult to think clearly because our emotions become involved.
We may feel nervous, excited, confused, or even afraid of making the wrong choice.
In this episode, we'll explore how people make difficult decisions and learn useful expressions for talking about choices, doubts, risks, and consequences.
This conversation is designed for B1 to B2 learners, so we will speak clearly while also using natural expressions that you can use in real life.
You don't need to understand every single word. Listen for the main ideas, notice useful phrases, and allow your English to grow naturally.
Before we go deeper, here's a question for you to think about. What is one difficult decision you have made in your life?
Maybe you had to choose between two jobs, decide where to live, or say no to an opportunity that did not feel right.
You don't have to answer immediately. Just keep the question somewhere in your mind while you listen.
Jake, would you say that you are good at making decisions?
That depends on the decision. If I'm choosing a sandwich, I'm fast and confident. If I'm choosing something important, I can think about it for days.
So you are confident when lunch is involved, but less confident when your future is involved.
Exactly. A sandwich usually has very limited consequences. If I choose badly, I can try a different one tomorrow.
That is true. Important decisions feel heavier because we may have to live with the result for months or years.
And sometimes there is no clearly correct answer. Both choices may have advantages and disadvantages.
That is what makes a decision difficult. We often want one option to be completely good and the other to be completely bad.
But real life is rarely that simple. One choice might offer more money but less free time. Another might give you more freedom but less security.
Let's explain two useful expressions. If you are weighing your options, you are carefully comparing the different choices available to you.
For example, you could say, I haven't decided whether to move yet. I'm still weighing my options.
We use the verb weigh because it creates the image of putting two things on a scale and comparing them.
Another useful expression is to make up your mind, which simply means to make a final decision.
You might say, I've been thinking about the offer all week, but I still haven't made up my mind.
Or your friend might ask, have you made up your mind about the new apartment?
Jake, can you remember a time when you had to weigh your options carefully?
Yes. A few years ago, I received a job offer in another city. It was a very good opportunity, but accepting it meant leaving my friends and family behind.
That sounds like a major decision. What was attractive about the new job?
It offered a better salary, more responsibility, and the chance to develop new skills. On paper, it looked like the perfect next step.
On paper is another helpful expression. It means that something looks good when you consider the facts, even though the reality may be different.
Right. On paper, the job was excellent. But when I imagined my daily life in the new city, I felt uncertain.
What were you worried about?
I was worried about feeling lonely. I knew no one there, and I would have to build a completely new social life.
Did you make a list of pros and cons?
Of course, I love lists because they make me feel organized even when I am completely confused.
I understand that feeling. Pros and cons means the advantages and disadvantages of a choice.
My list had better pay, career growth, and a fresh experience on the positive side. On the negative side, I wrote loneliness, higher living costs, and less time with my family.
Did the list make your choice obvious?
Not really. The two sides seemed almost equal, so I kept going back and forth.
If you go back and forth, you repeatedly change your opinion. One day you prefer one option, and the next day you prefer the other.
That was exactly what happened. On Monday, I was ready to accept. On Tuesday, I wanted to stay. By Wednesday, I had confused myself so much that I didn't trust any of my thoughts.
Many people experience that. We believe that thinking longer will always produce a better answer, but too much thinking can sometimes make us more anxious.
Yes, this is often called overthinking. Instead of helping us solve the problem, our thoughts begin to repeat themselves.
We imagine every possible result, including situations that are very unlikely to happen.
I started imagining myself alone in the new city, eating dinner in a dark apartment while everyone I loved was having fun without me.
That sounds dramatic.
It was very dramatic. In my imagination, my friends also forgot my name after about 2 weeks.
Our minds can create powerful stories when we're afraid of uncertainty.
And uncertainty is a central part of difficult decisions. We want to know exactly what will happen, but usually we cannot.
We can collect information, ask questions, and prepare carefully, but every meaningful choice includes some risk.
Eventually, I realized that I was not only choosing between 2 jobs, I was choosing between comfort and growth.
That is an important distinction. Staying offered familiarity and connection, while leaving offered change and possibility.
Exactly. And once I understood the real choice, I could begin asking myself more honest questions.
What kinds of honest questions helped you understand the decision more clearly?
I asked myself, what am I really afraid of? And if I stay, will I be happy with that choice 1 year from now?
Those questions are useful because they move beyond the simple question of which option looks better.
Yes, I realized that I was not afraid of the job itself. I was afraid of change, loneliness, and the possibility of regretting my decision.
Regret is the unhappy feeling you have when you wish you had made a different choice.
And fear of regret can keep us stuck. We try to find a perfect decision that will guarantee we never feel disappointed.
But no decision can give us that guarantee. Even a good choice may bring difficult days.
Exactly. Accepting a new job does not mean every day will be exciting, and staying in a familiar place does not mean you will always feel safe or satisfied.
So, how did you finally make up your mind?
I imagined 2 future versions of myself. One version accepted the job, and the other version stayed where he was.
That sounds like a helpful exercise. What did you notice?
When I imagined accepting the offer, I felt nervous but curious. When I imagined refusing it, I felt comfortable but slightly disappointed.
So your emotions were giving you useful information.
Yes, fear was present in both situations, but curiosity was only present in one of them. That helped me realize that I wanted to try the new experience.
And did you accept the offer?
I did. I moved to the new city about a month later with 2 suitcases, several boxes, and a plant that almost did not survive the journey.
Moving with a plant can make any decision more complicated.
Absolutely. For the first few weeks, I sometimes wondered if I had made a mistake.
That is important to mention. Feeling uncomfortable after a decision does not automatically mean the decision was wrong.
Right. Sometimes discomfort simply means that we're adjusting to a new situation.
The phrase adjust to means to become familiar and comfortable with something different.
I had to adjust to a new workplace, a new neighborhood, and a different daily routine.
How long did it take before the city began to feel like home?
A few months. I joined a weekend running group, became friends with 2 colleagues, and found a little cafe where the staff remembered my usual order.
That must have helped you feel connected.
It did. Slowly, the strange city became familiar, and I became more confident in my ability to handle change.
Do you think accepting that job was the right decision?
Yes, but not because everything went perfectly. It was right because the experience helped me grow and taught me things I needed to learn.
I like that answer. We often judge a decision only by its result, but a difficult result does not always mean we chose badly.
That is true. You can make a careful and reasonable decision, and something unexpected can still go wrong.
In the same way, someone can make a careless decision and get a good result because they were lucky.
So we should judge ourselves by the quality of our decision-making, not only by what happens afterward.
Let's look at a practical method that can help when we feel uncertain. First, define the real decision in one clear sentence.
For example, should I accept this job and move to another city, or should I remain in my current position?
A clear question keeps your mind focused. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed because several different problems are mixed together.
Then, collect the information you actually need. You might research the salary, working hours, location, responsibilities, or opportunities for growth.
The key phrase is actually need. It is possible to continue researching forever because we hope one more fact will remove all uncertainty.
At some point, more information stops being helpful and becomes another form of delay.
After that, you can identify your priorities. Ask yourself what matters most in this period of your life.
Your priorities may include financial security, family, health, freedom, education, or personal growth.
And priorities can change. The best choice for you today may not have been the best choice 5 years ago.
For example, a person with young children may value stability more than someone who is ready to travel and explore.
There is no universal answer because people have different needs, responsibilities, and values.
Values are the principles that you believe are important, such as honesty, independence, kindness, or loyalty.
When a choice agrees with your values, it often feels meaningful, even if it is challenging.
But when a choice goes against your values, you may feel uncomfortable even when it offers practical benefits.
Let me share a smaller decision I made recently. I was invited to help with an interesting project, but I already had a very busy schedule.
Was it the kind of opportunity that was difficult to refuse?
Yes, I wanted to say yes because the project sounded creative, and I did not want the people involved to think I was unhelpful.
So the decision was connected to both opportunity and social pressure.
Exactly. Social pressure is the feeling that other people expect you to behave in a certain way.
What did you do?
At first, I almost agreed immediately. Then I used a sentence that has become very helpful to me. Can I think about it and give you an answer tomorrow?
That is a simple but powerful sentence. It gives you time to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally.
Yes, many poor decisions happen because we feel that we must answer immediately.
Especially when someone is waiting in front of us. Silence can feel uncomfortable, so we say yes just to escape the moment.
When I looked at my schedule later, I saw that accepting the project would mean losing rest and canceling personal plans.
Did you decide to turn it down?
I did. Turn something down means to refuse an offer, invitation, or request.
Was it difficult to tell them?
Very difficult. I wrote the message, changed it 6 times, and stared at the send button as if it controlled my entire future.
I know that feeling. Sometimes sending a polite no requires more courage than completing the actual project.
I finally wrote, "Thank you for thinking of me. It sounds like a valuable project, but I don't have enough time to give it the attention it deserves."
That was honest, respectful, and clear.
And the response was completely friendly. All the negative reactions I had imagined existed only in my mind.
That shows why boundaries matter when we make decisions. A boundary is a limit that protects your time, energy, or well-being.
Saying no does not always mean that you are selfish or uninterested. Sometimes it means that you understand your limits.
And every time you say yes to one thing, you're also saying no to something else because your time and energy are limited.
That is a useful way to think about choices. A yes always has a cost, even when that cost is simply less time for rest.
Exactly. That does not mean we should refuse every opportunity. It means we should understand what we are giving up before we agree.
The thing you give up when you choose something else is sometimes called a trade-off.
For example, working longer hours may bring more money, but the trade-off could be having less time with your family.
Difficult decisions often involve trade-offs because we cannot have every advantage at the same time.
We have to decide which benefits matter most and which disadvantages we are willing to accept.
Another useful approach is to ask advice from someone you trust.
A trusted person can offer a different perspective, especially when your emotions make it difficult to see the situation clearly.
A perspective is a particular way of seeing or understanding something.
But asking for advice does not mean giving someone else the power to make your decision.
That is an important difference. Other people can share their experiences, but they do not have to live with the consequences.
Sometimes we ask 5 different people for advice and become even more confused because they all give us different answers.
One person tells you to follow your heart, another tells you to be practical, and someone else sends you a 20-minute video about positive thinking.
Then you need to make another difficult decision about whose advice to ignore.
It can help to speak with people who understand the situation and also understand your values.
You can listen carefully, notice what feels useful, and then make the final choice yourself.
What about intuition? Do you think people should trust their gut when making important decisions?
Trust your gut means to follow your natural inner feeling even when you cannot fully explain it with facts.
I think intuition can be helpful, but it should not always be the only guide.
I agree. Intuition may come from experience. Your brain notices patterns and warning signs before you can describe them clearly.
For example, a job offer may look excellent, but something about the workplace or the manager makes you feel uncomfortable.
That feeling deserves attention. You can investigate it by asking more questions instead of immediately accepting or rejecting the offer.
So, facts and feelings can work together. Facts tell you what you know, while feelings may show you what needs more attention.
Another method is to imagine that a close friend is facing the same decision.
That creates emotional distance. We are often kinder and more reasonable when we think about someone else's problem.
You can ask, if my best friend were in this situation, what would I tell them?
Your answer may reveal something that you already know, but have been afraid to admit.
For instance, you may realize that you would never tell a friend to remain in a situation that constantly makes them unhappy.
Yet we sometimes accept things for ourselves that we would not recommend to anyone we love.
That is why self-respect should be part of the decision-making process.
We should also remember that many decisions are not permanent.
Yes, we sometimes treat every choice like a door that will lock forever after we walk through it.
But in many situations, we can change direction, try again, or make a new decision later.
A course can be changed, a plan can be adjusted, and a new job does not have to be your job for the rest of your life.
Of course, some decisions are difficult to reverse, so they require more care.
Reverse a decision means to change it and return to the earlier situation.
When a choice is hard to reverse, it is wise to slow down, collect reliable information, and consider the possible consequences.
But when a decision is easy to change, experimenting may be better than spending months overthinking it.
You could try a class before joining a full program, or visit a city before deciding to move there.
A small test can give you real experience, which is often more valuable than endless imagination.
Let's review some useful language from our conversation.
First, weigh your options means to compare your possible choices carefully.
Make up your mind means to reach a final decision.
Go back and forth means to repeatedly change your opinion between different choices.
A trade-off is something you accept or give up in order to receive another benefit.
Turn something down means to refuse an offer, request, or invitation.
Trust your gut means to follow a strong inner feeling that you may not be able to explain completely.
And live with the consequences means to experience and accept the results of your choice.
Here is a short example using several of these expressions. I went back and forth for days while weighing my options, but I finally made up my mind and turned down the offer.
You can pause and repeat that sentence out loud for some natural speaking practice.
Before making a difficult decision, remember that you do not need to predict the future perfectly.
Try to understand the choice clearly, gather enough information, identify your priorities, and accept that uncertainty will remain.
Give yourself time when possible, but set a reasonable limit so that thinking does not become endless overthinking.
Ask for advice if it helps, pay attention to your feelings, and remember that the final choice belongs to you.
Most importantly, be kind to yourself after you decide.
You made the best choice you could with the knowledge, experience, and energy you had at that moment.
If the result is different than what you hoped, you can learn, adjust, and choose again.
A difficult decision is not a test of whether you could control everything. It is a moment when you choose a direction without knowing every detail of the road.
Now, we have a question for you. What difficult decision are you facing, and what is the most important factor in your choice?
You can write, I'm deciding whether to, and the most important factor for me is.
Share your answer in the comments if you feel comfortable. It is a meaningful way to practice English while thinking clearly about your own life.
You could also choose one expression from today's conversation and use it in your own sentence.
Thank you for listening and spending this calm moment with us on Chill English channel.
If you enjoyed the episode, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who is learning English.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and trust yourself to move forward one thoughtful decision at a time.
Take care, and we'll see you soon on Chill English channel.